Hello. Am I muted? Did I make it? I made it. All right, we're in. Hey, everybody, welcome back to Debate Hub. We are here with Jeff Holiday, and we are here with Egghead, and we're going to talk about guns.
Oh my god.
Yeah, guns.
Hell yeah, I'm here for it. I'm into it. I'm so excited to have this one, especially after the show that... So I didn't have internet for the day yesterday because Rogers, and because we have a duopoly, 50% of Ontario did not have internet because they just
Oh my god.
went out. So I took a nap, did a little bit of art, mostly took a nap. So we ended up doing Dumb Fact Friday just before this stream. And after that nonsense, I'm looking forward to this whole other nonsense. So how are you guys? Tell me how you are. What have you been up to?
Well, I've been working, and today I decided to get a haircut. Been catching up on Stranger Things.
Nice.
And getting ready for my trip up to Oklahoma next month. Prepare for the 1 year anniversary of my dad's death. Not going to be heading on the 23rd, but around that time frame.
Sure. Damn.
Yeah. They haven't placed the tombstone yet. We're still waiting to get the final approval. They said it's pretty much not going to be like any different from like the mock-up, since now they have the actual photo of the picture that they used for his obituary.
Right.
But they said that it's going to look great.
Good.
Awesome. Hell yeah.
Best $3,000 we've ever spent.
Jesus. Everything that has to do with with funerary arrangements and the whole thing is so fucking expensive. It's absolutely insane.
One of those things, you're better off doing it ahead of time so you can pay for it over time rather than
DIY, you know. It's whatever. I'll learn some stone to cut some cost, you know. Yeah, I had a fucking weird week. Tuesday, my best friend got a hold of me. He flies for work. He flew to North Carolina, got a call from his family, and his whole family had COVID. So he tested, and he had fucking COVID. So he couldn't work, and he couldn't fly. So he's like, well, I guess I have to drive home from North Carolina to Oregon. So I was like, all right. I took a test to make sure I was clear. I was. And the next day I flew to St. Louis and met him, and I helped him drive back the last 2,000 miles. We got back yesterday. So
you've been on the road.
Yeah, this whole week.
Jesus,
just doing nothing but fucking driving. Just driving and driving and driving and driving and driving. And it's funny because that happened like right as all the new components came in for this computer, which I literally put together this morning and like have none of my shit that I need on it, which is why my video feed looks so weird. But yeah, no, busy, been weird, been real weird.
Exclusive background Jeff content.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, absolutely nuts.
I remember I was like, I would get like notifications, like just like I think you on Twitch or something saying just chatting. You just like just driving and chatting.
Yeah, well, so what we would do, we took turns driving, and when we were in each state, like we were in, we started doing it in Wyoming. We didn't do it in Nebraska, but like we did a stream called Wyoming Facts, and we were streaming and reading fun trivia about Wyoming to the chat and to each other and cracking jokes about it. And yeah, it's kind of how we kept our sanity. It was
oh my goodness,
long fucking drive, guys.
Oh my god.
I can imagine.
No doubt. So, the topic today. So, Jeff is worn out. Egghead's got a lot on his plate. And now we're going to talk about guns.
Yeah. I'm always ready to talk about guns.
I thought this would be like such an interesting pair up because Egghead's from Texas and Jeff knows his gun laws and his gun rules and his gun... all of it. I'm Canadian, so I don't know shit about shit. So...
Currently living in Texas, originally from Oklahoma, born and raised 18 years in that damn state, and now I'm in equally worse state.
There are cool parts about Texas.
I had somebody talking about secession, I guess, and I was just like, okay, but what if all the blue states secede instead? What happens if we do the opposite?
Wow, then all the red states would starve.
Oh.
Just saying, you know, it's crazy. Well, I mean, like, so that is a weird thing because America's breadbasket has a lot of red states, but I mean, just California alone has massive amounts of crops that feed the whole country, and I think I don't remember what it is currently, but it's something like the 8th biggest economy in the world is one state.
That's
Wow.
massive. That's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, it's really fucking nuts.
How
So
did that happen?
just is. California is fucking hella rich, incredibly rich, and it's really well run. Like, I don't like Gavin Newsom for a lot of reasons, but you can't deny the motherfucker knows how to run a business. It is crazy.
I imagine that might be how it got as big as it did then, because it's being run effectively. Part of the reason.
Well, there's also like Silicon Valley, Silicon Forest is in California. All the tech in San Francisco. I mean, it's fucking it's nuts. There are like apartments in San Francisco that are $12,000 a month. Just because, it's like you want to live on Haight-Ashbury, that's how much you pay, $12,000 a month.
Oh yeah.
An apartment.
California is like one of the most expensive. It's rich, but it's also the most expensive place out there.
Yes, it is. Very cost prohibitive.
That in New York.
Yeah. And that's the weird thing. Yeah, New York is pretty bad too. That's the weird thing about the red and the blue states when they talk about secession is, by and large, most of the states that constantly have to be bailed out with taxpayer money from all around the rest of the country are overwhelmingly red. Like a lot.
Oh yeah.
They're like, we're going to succeed. And we're like, all right, well, we won't give you any more money. Well, hang on.
And this is even the best part. They want to secede from the union so goddamn much, but yet they want to keep everything. I was like, I'm just thinking to myself, we can't even keep the goddamn power on during the winter or even parts during the summer.
Right. That was pretty awful.
Because Texas, we have our own fucking power grid that's separated from the entire country.
I mean, that's not inherently a bad thing, but if you're not going to maintain it, then...
Yeah, well, it just the freaking winter storm of last year in Texas just proved that we couldn't even handle that.
Yeah. I'm trying to find where California ranks as far as like I'm trying to figure it out. Let's see. We got it would be the 5th largest economy. Sorry about that. United States, China, Japan, Germany, California.
Wow.
California is going to be the Hong Kong of America.
Yes, it has a bigger economy than United Kingdom, than India, than France, Italy, Canada. It's fucking crazy, guys.
Well, California's also got like some kind of insane multiplicative of Canada's population. Like the whole country.
I think you're probably right. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. It's one of those things. People don't want to like. We have a culture war going on, which is very strange, and it's completely arbitrary, and a lot of things don't really make a whole lot of sense. But some people who just have a hate on for California, and I don't live in California, by the way. I live in Oregon, but have a hate on for California, and they just think it's like a shithole and a cesspool. And I'm like, you do realize, like, aside from North Korea, every fucking country in the world looks to our entertainment like a lot. Our culture is infectious and spreads everywhere. It's fucking crazy. India has
somebody
Bollywood
who lives upstairs.
Yeah, like. Well, thankfully, we actually import quite a few of your guys' talented actors, actresses, and directors, and whatnot. So we
literally won't let anybody who's bad go. They get horrifically like bullied up here. Like, we're not very good at supporting locally or like even nationally. We're really not. You have to be really, really good, and we only acknowledge you if you get really, really good somewhere else.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, you want to be a comedian in Canada and be acknowledged as a good comedian in Canada. Be a successful comedian in the States, and then maybe we'll care.
Fair.
Then we'll bring it back.
And don't embarrass us. If you embarrass us, we hate you forever. Look at Jordan Peterson.
Oh yeah.
Look at Ted Cruz.
There's a lot of really weird, hardcore far right people from Canada, like that. That just so into American politics. It's fucking weird, man.
Steven Crowder.
I always see you battling them on Twitter.
Canada,
Crowder, fucking Lauren Chen, Stefan Molyneux. Ugh.
They don't exist up here. Their politics go nowhere up here, so they leave. They go to America where it will be successful.
Yeah, they come here when morons thrive off of it.
Yep.
That's true. America does love and cherish stupidity quite a lot.
The closest we get to that is parts of Alberta. So like Alberta is like Canada, Texas. So they think they're really, really important and that they deserve a lot of special stuff when it comes to money because that's where the oil fields are.
Gotcha.
Right? And so when everybody else gets taxed, they already have standing tax breaks. Like it just stands. Right? Sure. So they don't have to pay a specific amount of taxes because they're providing yada, 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 yada. But that's not good enough. They want this, that, and the other thing as well. And they just get mad about it if anybody else ever gets a break on anything. They're like, well, we need more of it. They drastically swing from one side to the other of being like, you need us to, we're going our own way to it's like it's always one way or the other. It's jokingly called the racist part of Canada, and that's only half of a joke.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And it's the rural parts, right? There's like Calgary, which is not nearly as bad, and your Edmonton, which is not nearly as sort of like that further right, but like the big trucker rally stuff, the only reason that was even remotely successful had to do with like Alberta's involvement.
Right.
That's crazy. So Egg, you live in Dallas, right?
I currently live in Louisville / Colony area. We moved in 2000 last December actually, and we've been here ever since.
You yelled at me when I was flying through Dallas that I didn't get a chance to see.
Literally, DFW is not that far from my apartment.
Oh, okay.
It's like maybe like a good 20-something minute drive.
Man, I wish I could have. That would have been great. Do you? So where you live? So like, because you know we got our topic is guns. I was kind of curious, like where you live. Do you ever see people just open carrying?
Not really, to be honest. I haven't seen that many people just full on just open carry. Maybe they're doing it concealed carry, but like just not like you know like holding their AR-15 or their revolver pistol or whatever. I haven't seen anything like that.
It's so weird to me because like you know we have these perceptions. Texas has this perception as it's like this big yeehaw cowboy gun state.
Right.
And every time I've gone through Texas, I've never seen somebody open carry. Yeah, I know personally 2 people here in Eugene, that always have a gun on their hip. Everywhere they go, they go to the grocery store, they got a fucking gun on their hip. They're going to like pick up their kids. They don't take it onto the school grounds, but as soon as they're back in the car, they put it back on their hip. You know, like And these are lefty people. You know, it's strange to me.
Yeah, I haven't seen. I've been in Texas since October of 2012, and obviously I'm coming from one red state to another red state, and with the years gone by and how more crazy each states have gotten, I haven't seen any people just openly carry their guns or anywhere.
Sure. Yeah.
Like I drive for fucking Uber, you would think that sometimes people would actually do that.
They have the because that's where a lot of the rhetoric comes from, right? A lot of the pro-gun rhetoric seems to come from Texas.
It seems to, but I think
I do see a lot. I do see some times while I'm out driving, I would see, maybe like the bumper sticker or the window decal say "Come and take it," and it's the typical either the snake "Don't tread on me" or even the old cannon with that says "Don't come and take it" or whatever.
Right. Yeah, I mean I think there's 2 types of right-wing gun advocacy. There's the sincere advocacy because they do like guns, usually because they're very insecure as well. Machismo tied to my masculinity sort of thing. And then the other is largely
muscle car.
Well, always rap shades. Maybe maybe a lifted truck or something.
Always a lifted truck.
Always.
If you're lucky, they got the stacks. That's now you have a really big dick.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you have the performative political side of it, where I keep looking at this camera, but that camera's not working right. Then you look at this camera.
This one.
Yeah. Fucking God, everything's so fucked up today. There's a performative political part where, this is all about like lobbying, and it's about crafting this narrative of like the left wants to take your guns, and we are the arbiters of freedom. And neither side, I think, has a real genuine bone in the notion of why gun rights might be important. Neither of them give a shit about it. Not really. So that's my opinion on it. Because here in Oregon, we have lots of green necks. We got these redneck, crazy ass, semi-libby, progressive people who smoke way too much fucking weed, and they live out in the fucking woods, and they're hardcore about their fucking guns, and it's interesting.
I think it's probably because I live in the city range area that probably is the reason why I haven't seen that many people open carry.
Sure.
If I get to like the bumfuck woods of maybe, I don't know, a random town in God knows where. West Texas probably. Then I might see people open carry their guns. But in the Dallas city limits, or even out here in the Louisville/Colony area, I haven't seen anything.
Well, I mean, if you go out into the rural areas of any state, I think you're more likely to see it. And I think, especially places like West Texas or other types of deserts and shit, you're going to see people that have like gun racks in their car or in their truck and shit. But that's like, you live in the fucking wilderness. It's probably a good idea to have a rifle just in case you fucking come across a coyote or a fucking rattlesnake or something. And bang, take care of it.
Or even a freaking bobcat or something.
I mean, I think there's something to be said for like the differences there between like what is performative versus what is like people who are actually like, no, this is important for real life reasons. And then also that dividing line between city versus rural areas.
Sure.
In the city, you're not going to find a bobcat that you're going to have to defend yourself for in a large city. Not usually.
Hope not.
Oh.
Yeah. I think you're right too, because like I guess we can kind of divide it into like, is this a notion of having a gun for utility, like being out on a ranch or whatever, versus having it because you want it, and that's always an interesting thing to like discuss, because you can, it's hard for people who are anti-gun to make the debate that nobody should have a gun, including those people who live in the wilderness and might need to defend against a coyote. Usually most of those people are like, okay, yeah, you should probably be able to have a shotgun. Like, I get that,
Right.
Utility of the matter. I mean, it's like that in Canada, too. Our gun laws are a lot more strict, or at least more consistent. I'm not sure if strict is the right word, because they're not strict by my standards. But it's not uncommon or not expected for people who are driving around in backwoods areas and who live in like off street, even just outside of a larger city, because coyotes are common. Like my mom lives in the city and there are coyotes in the city sometimes.
Oh yeah.
And so
I would see that as well.
And so it's not uncommon, but there are things like hunting rifles.
Yeah.
There are the type of gun that you see is ones that are utilitable for that type of thing. They're not these semi-automatic.
Right. These aren't like AR-15s or yeah, and I get that. No, this is not mango juice. This is actually wine. It's my juice box. This is a juice box. But somebody's saying don't shoot rattlesnakes. Well, that depends. If you're just walking along, not on your property, not anywhere near your house or whatever, see a rattlesnake, don't shoot it, leave it alone. However,
Right.
if a rattlesnake is taken up residence somewhere really close by where like your kids or your dog are going to be, you could move the rattlesnake. It will come back. It'll come back. Or you can shoot it and you can skin it, tan it, cook up the meat, and it's really fucking tasty. So I'm just saying.
Use it as a warning to other rattlesnakes.
Yeah,
like, this is what you're gonna get if you come near me.
Dude, rattlesnake is fucking delicious.
There was a guy that did that with
never
squirrels.
had rattlesnake.
He sat around with like a.
I'm 28 years old. Living in Oklahoma, you would think my dad would do that, but no, I've never had that.
Bucket list. Add it.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's the bucket list.
I've never had it either. There's a whole like Rattlesnake Point area, but I don't know if I've ever met anybody who's like in my real life who's had rattlesnake before.
Really?
Yeah, there's like a whole hiking trail that's like there's rattlesnakes all over the place. All over the place. People take their kids all the time.
It's just there's one of the times I was out camping with my dad when I was growing up. It was the first time I ate rattlesnake. And just popped it and we processed it right there and we cooked it over a fire on a stick and like it was fucking amazing.
To the vegetarian argument, right? It's like, oh, you don't kill your own food. Jeff's out here like, okay,
fucking eating rattlesnakes.
Yeah. Eating rattlesnakes, eating toads and everything.
Dude, I'm a city boy and I'm a hardcore fucking lefty, you know, like, but I love hunting. I love being in the woods. I love, you know, having lots of crazy guns and shit. Like, that's just how it is.
I remember like a couple of years back, I remember watching you like just go, I think, to a beach, and this is on one of your many accounts. But I remember you went out there to the beach and you were burning like all these sorts of flags.
Oh yeah,
and I believe one of them was the Keck flag.
It was. I burned a Kyrgyzstan flag, a Confederate flag, and a Nazi flag. Now, the thing that's really unfortunate about me doing that, I thought it was fun. We all had a great time. We were fucking having fun.
I laughed my ass off when I saw that.
We're out there like all strapped up with our guns and our survival gear and shit. Thing that you don't see. So we did that for 4th of July. The thing you don't see is right before we set them on fire, there was a Mexican family that was walking down the beach, and they saw those fucking flags, and they fucking bolted and they ran off the beach. Oh shit. And so I explained to them later because they were kind of camped in the same area and we were walking back and I was like, I'm so sorry about that. We were burning those things. We burned them. We ate them. We don't believe in them. And they're like, okay.
Shit out of his poor family.
You scarred them for life.
No, they're going to be telling that story for generations.
Yeah. So one time on 4th of July, these crazy fucking gringos are out there with guns and fucking Nazi flags and shit. I don't know how I keep getting myself into these things, but
yeah, I don't know.
And I wonder, we all wonder how many times are we going to see Jeff go through another Twitter account.
Yeah, I know. I'm bad about that. But okay, but I'm curious. So, Egg, how do you feel about the AR-15?
I'm tired of seeing it as the fucking weapon that's always used in these mass shootings.
Me too.
Like every single time one of these mass shootings happen, whether it be in school shootings, mall shootings, grocery store shoppings, or even the 4th of July shooting that happened a couple days ago, it's always the weapon of choice, and it's so fucking getting old.
Yeah, you'll notice that none of that 4th of July shooting stuff or anything is mentioned in the description. It's not in the title. It's not in the tags, by the way.
Sure. It's well, I mean, you know, it's one of those things that's very relevant now because you know it happened, and we, me and Egg, unfortunately live in a country where mass shootings are now part of our culture.
It's always relevant in America.
Yes, it's always relevant in fucking America. Crazy. You know, and it, the reason why it's always the AR-15 that ends up being used, I think, is predominantly because it's the most popular firearm in the world.
Right.
And a lot of that is because
it's vogue.
It's very vogue. No, it's very vogue. Very vogue. AR-15 is not the
Mm-hmm.
best fucking battle rifle that you can have. I don't think so, but it's very modular. I made mine. You know, you get the receiver, and then you can get your top, your upper parts kit, your lower parts kit, what kind of stock you want on the thing, or pistol brace, what kind of handguard, what kind of accessories. Like, it's adult Legos. It really is.
Right.
Yeah, very, yeah.
And it is extremely fun to build. So it totally makes sense to me that we always see the AR-15 being used for these school shootings, because not only is it fun to build, it's fun to shoot, it's easy to shoot, and it's everywhere. It's in like every fucking movie. It's
Ease
in
of
every
access.
Yeah. There's a fucking gun. There's literally a gun store that's right across the street, and I can guarantee you, in that damn store, there's an AR-15.
Oh yeah.
Oh, probably many. You know,
They're like, and especially like on their sign outside the door, like their big sign that's attract people off the road. It's literally an AR-15 on there.
Oh sure, yeah, of course. You know, the gun store that I used to frequent until I got kicked out for.
I heard that story.
Yeah, for being Antifa.
Oh God! I mean, aren't you the leader of Antifa?
I am the leader of Kekistan and Antifa. It's a very confusing thing to be me.
And now you will never live that down. You will never live that down.
Jeff is the guy from Avatar: The Last Airbender that wears the different hats. I'm Shu. Yeah. I heard you were talking to my brother.
But yeah, like in there, right on the shelf, they usually have anywhere from like 9 to 12 different ARs. You know, it's just it's very popular, and they put that many up to sell them because that many people will buy them. There are so many other different types of rifles that functionally operate the exact same as an AR-15. You know, that can have bigger cartridges. They can do a lot more fucking damage. You know, or modular in some other different ways. But it's literally just because they are so popular. So when people start talking about regulation, and they say like we need to ban AR-15s, like that's not gonna. They'll just move to a different.
They'll just pick another gun.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Didn't they? I may be wrong on my history here, but didn't they ban the fucking Tommy gun?
For a while, you could not use a drum mag in, I think, some states, but I don't think it was universal. I think actually at one point there might have been. I seem to remember this. There was like a point where there was so much panic over the iconic like Tommy gun being used by gangsters that some people wanted to ban it, but I don't know if they ever did. I'm not sure.
Would it be like saying, "Hey, we're instead of people are drinking too much, we're gonna ban vodka." People are just going to pick something else to drink. So, like, this kind of fix or this kind of regulation that you're positing is not going to solve the problem.
Right.
Or they're going to bootleg it.
Right. So there's a lot of other complications that we have with it too. Like, say you want to ban the AR-15, if people want an AR-15, like, if you spend $300 right now, you can get a 3D printer. And you can make almost every single piece that you need, save for ordering maybe $80 worth of parts, and you can build an assault rifle that will shoot the same cartridge at the same speed, and with the same accuracy as a moderately priced AR-15. You can do that right now. Right now, you can go do that. You gonna ban 3D printers? Like, what the fuck? What are you gonna do? Right. You know, and that's
people getting car crashes every day. You gonna ban cars?
Exactly. So then that's why when we talk about it, like, I always tend to try and focus on like, well, why in the fuck do we have so many fucking shootings to begin with? And I'm curious what you think, Egg.
In my opinion, it definitely focuses on a lot of mental health wise.
Sure.
Because I've always seen these nut jobs have these types of guns, and without being in check, someday they'll just snap and they'll just go on a rampage.
Right.
Like that, like the Uvalde shooter.
Right.
I believe. He snapped, and I think he actually he shot his grandma. She lived, surprisingly. Guys shoot out with the cops, and then he was waiting to the school, and oh god, that's just another freaking mess on and of its own.
I know. There's like
mental health, in my opinion, definitely has a major factor to it.
Okay. Well, how would you want to approach like maybe trying to mitigate that?
Focus a lot on mental health. Make sure that people can get the actual treatment that they need to.
Sure.
Also, set up these fucking goddamn laws, like red flag laws, that, hey, if this motherfucker is showing that he is a clear danger to not only himself, but to others as well, then don't fucking sell him this shit. Don't allow him to even get him this shit.
Instead of reactive.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I believe could be like this. Like, of course, a lot of people are going to say, well, you're just going to want to take away our guns away. And yet I've never seen anyone call out a fucking ban on all guns. We are not like our neighbors to the north, Canada, like Justin Trudeau, where he would say, we're putting a stop on sales of handguns after the Uvalde shooting.
To be fair, we did have some extreme from the NDP party say that they wanted to demilitarize Canada entirely and have no military. And the leader of the NDP party was like, "Okay, listen,
we gotta stop on
that's
that.
a little bit too far. I don't think that's feasible right now."
Yeah,
we gotta stop on that.
Yeah,
that's quite a thing.
Yeah, you guys think your guys' left is extreme. We got people that are like, get rid of all the military, and we're just like, we live above America. That's not an option.
There's definitely a lot of people on the left who would be here that would like to ban all guns, but I think it's because we live in a country where there are more guns than there are fucking people. I think they realize that that's not possible. It's not gonna happen.
It's not realistic.
Yeah, the most common pushback against red flag laws are that, this isn't from me necessarily, but this is from quite a few people, is that if you have red flag laws, then that effectively gives the government carte blanche to basically prevent anyone they want from not having a gun. And I disagree. I don't think that that's necessarily the case, but I do understand where they're coming from. I do understand why they have those concerns. But here's the thing. This is what's so fucking nutty to me. Like, we have gun laws now. We have them now. And the kid that just shot up that fucking 4th of July parade, like, there's every reason why he should not have been able to have a gun based upon the shit that he had already done and was involved in, and an actual aggressive law enforcement agency that looks at what's happening and then doesn't let him get that ownership card, because in that state you have to get a card to own a gun.
Right.
Would have then been the law, the Illinois law, acting how it's supposed to be. They upheld the law that they were supposed to, and then that kid wouldn't have been able to have as easy of access to a gun. He probably could have still gotten one, but it would have been a lot harder. So, like, people can be like, well, with red flags, and they're going to just come get blah, 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 blah. Do you even understand how incompetent law enforcement even is with the gun laws that we have now? Like, come on, man.
You're talking about less of a change to whatever the regulation is, and you just thought, you know what, let it go, fine. You don't want to change it in the regulation, sure, but how about we actually are active in enforcing the current regulation?
Well, I think we have to enforce our current regulations, for one, and for two,
otherwise it's meaningless.
Yes, I do believe, and I'm a hardcore Second Amendment guy, but like,
what the fuck just happened?
We lost Eggy. He's back.
Oh man,
it literally froze on me for like one whole fucking second. And then I'm gonna restart my computer real quick.
All right. Dang.
I don't know what the fuck.
Oh, you're on your phone now.
I'm on my phone right now. So I always no idea what the fuck just happened. I guess I'm back on my computer, but like I think I just had like a small internet power surge here.
It spooked me when it happened. I was like, whoa.
Because like you were going robotic on me, and then all of a sudden just everything froze.
No, that happened anyway. I slip back into my native language sometimes. So I God damn it.
There we go.
I'm a hardcore Second Amendment lefty guy. I really am. I'm all about it. But I actually do believe that there are some things that we can point to which have obviously been detrimental effects and have correlative relationships with mass shootings and gun violence. For instance, domestic violence. People who are constantly getting in trouble with domestic violence are overwhelmingly more likely to end up committing like very serious fucking gun crimes compared to almost any other fucking group. The other is young men, ages somewhere between 16 and 20. So when some people are like, I think we should raise the age of ownership to 21, I'm like, I think I might vote for that. And prior to like things being really bad, when I was just like a fuck no freedom, I wouldn't have ever agreed to that. But now I actually think that's kind of reasonable because it's something. It's something, you know. Is it going to decrease like mass shootings? I don't know, maybe a little bit. But I like it. I like the whole, you know, look at what causes them, mental health, that sort of thing. I think the other thing that we forget when we're talking about gun violence is that we get seduced into paying attention only to mass shootings, but gun violence is it's endemic all over America, and a lot more fucking people die from gun violence not in mass shootings than in mass shootings. You know?
Yeah, there's a lot of I think it's suicide is one of the highest via gun.
One of the highest. Yeah, absolutely. Suicide, there's gang violence, there's, you know, domestic violence.
Detroit exists.
Yeah. Fucking Kansas City exists, New Orleans exists. It's fucking crazy. It's nuts. Everybody always goes Chicago. Well, Chicago's bad, but Chicago only seems so bad because there are so many deaths, gun deaths. But there's also a lot more people there than other places that are way more.
Statistics are more complicated than people, I think, understand a lot of the time.
Yes.
You get like, oh wow, look at America's gun violence. It's horrible, but it's only like it's only 3 places in America. So people are like, oh my God, I can't go visit America because I'm going to get shot. And it's like, only if you go there.
Right. Well, I mean, the press doesn't help with that. Well, the whole like mass shootings happening in like these
media
very
circuit.
innocent places. Yeah, it can totally scare the shit out of people too.
On purpose. That's what they're doing. On purpose.
Oh yeah. It's paranoia pornography.
Mm-hmm.
But the I think, and this is the main thing that I always keep hammering back to, anytime somebody is like, we have to do something about this, and I'm like, why don't we solve some of the things why people cause all this violence to begin with? Income inequality, like lack of access to decent healthcare, lack of access to decent mental care, you know, like we have class disparity, we have economic fucking disparity. Nobody can afford to fucking buy a goddamn house. Nobody can afford to fucking live without a roommate. I mean, like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And these pressures and this growing gap where it pushes people down causes an overwhelming pressure point, and people snap and people go crazy. People fucking hurt each other. People go nuts. You know, we've got nihilism running rampant through our fucking youth constantly.
Oh yeah.
Doomer, incel, Jordan Peterson listening to fucking dipshits like going crazy. I swear to God, man. And it's because we have a culture of stupidity with a government that does not give a shit and is not trying to help anybody. And one of the grotesque symptoms of this disease is gun violence. And I really believe that.
Yeah, I think that's a fair take. You've certainly got a situation where there's uneducated people stuck in a circumstance that they don't know how to get out of, and there aren't any resources to get them out of that. So what else are they supposed to do? Right? I mean, even the most recent, when they were showing like some posts that this guy had made, and the guy had basically planned to get taken out by the cops in like his little drawings. So it's like, what did you expect?
Right. Yeah, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. Honest Red, hey, what's up, Honest Red? Gun buybacks? Okay, let me tell you why gun buybacks are awesome. Because when a gun buyback happens anywhere around me, I can go and hang out outside the gun buyback because they'll only give you $50 for a gun, and I'll ask people like, "Hey, what do you got? I'll give you $100 for it. Give you $100 for it right now. We'll go down to the pawn shop, and I'll pay the transfer fee."
Facebook
You can get
Marketplace guns.
yeah. But no, I'm serious. So I'm serious because
Yeah.
people will they'll be like, "Oh, I don't want this gun anymore. The cops are gonna schlag it. You know, it's probably a gun worth anywhere from $600 to $1,200." And somebody's like, "I'll give you $50 more," and then you get very cheap guns, and that's why I think gun buybacks are awesome. Yep.
I do
Sell me your guns.
I have a question from Helios. He asked, mental
Yep.
health always feels like it gets too much credit for causing gun violence. Do you really think that the USA is so poor in mental health that we are worse off than almost all of the other industrialized combined?
What do you think, Egg? Do you think we're sicker than other places?
A little bit.
Maybe, yeah. I think kind of we are a little sicker than the other places because I don't usually hear this type of stuff happening in other countries.
Right. It's like, a very American problem.
Yeah, of course it's like this. This is a very American problem. Like half the time you don't ever hear like, and if there's any like a mass shooting in New Zealand, remember that happened like a couple years ago?
Big deal.
And like almost instantaneously, with a snap of the finger, the Prime Minister in New Zealand just basically just put an end to all that stuff. And I haven't heard anything since.
Nope.
About like gun violence in there.
They also aggressively are going after hardcore white nationalist groups in New Zealand, way harder than we do. Which
same
is
in
also
Canada.
Yeah.
There's a Canadian version. I did a video about Canadian Nick Fuentes because we had one. We had our own. We had our own little ginger baby.
Yeah.
He tried to. My favorite thing about him was that he was streaming out of his parents' basement, and Mom, my internet's not working anymore. But they tried to organize an event and then immediately got labeled as terrorists.
Oh no!
My God.
Yeah. Because they said they were going to do the same kind of shit. They're like doing the same Nick Fuentes rhetoric. And as soon as you do that rhetoric, Canada was like, yeah, shutting that shit down. I'm sorry, you're going to go do what to a parliament building? I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's not necessarily that America is mentally ill more than other places. It's that we are mentally ill. We embrace cultures of stupidity. We tolerate far too much shit, and we have more guns than people. It's all of those things combined.
It's the paradox of tolerance.
Yeah.
If you tolerate everything, then you get nothing but intolerance.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like, I really get fucking tired of that kind of shit where people are like, well, we have to respect all viewpoints, and like that's stupid. That's not even natural. Animals don't do that. Okay, animals don't do that. Animals are intolerant, and they're intolerant for a fucking reason. They maintain some basic standards by which they operate, because without that, they fall apart. We have like fucking talked ourselves into this dumb fuckery where we just have to like tolerate people like Nick fucking Fuentes. Why?
Why?
Freedom.
Based and red pilled.
It's so dumb. It's so fucking dumb, you know. And America has triggered its suicide gene, and it's really fucked up. It's really fucked up, and it just is what it is, you know. Fuck.
America's in some really dark times now, and I don't like it.
I tell you what, though, with everything that's been going on and all this crazy shit happening and all this dark stuff, this is the best time if you are not a hardcore rightoid to go take a gun safety class and then buy a gun. It absolutely is the best time for you to do that. Best time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I can't say I'm against that. I don't think there's anything wrong with education. What about if you had an education like a gun class?
Sure.
That was
gun safety class.
A gun safety class that was I don't know, one of the required graduate programs. So you had like a semester of here you get gun safety and we're going to teach you all about guns and how they function and how they work and how you can be safe around it and how to disarm somebody, yada 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 yada. And you have like this
Wow.
semester long whatever you think would make sense with it. Put it together, take it apart, clean it, care, locking it up, yada yada, etc.
I honestly think that would be a fantastic idea. I think like freshman year, freshman year,
Sure.
freshman year, everybody takes a gun safety class.
Well, everybody's all nice and green, and nobody knows what's going on.
And nobody's had like 4 years of being stuck in terrible fucking high school to be all poisoned and shit. Like,
Yeah.
but and teach proper handling of a gun, respect for firearms. Concerns about safety should you be in a situation where you might be around a gun, not gun disarmament. Right. That's weird. That's a whole another bag of shit.
Fair enough.
But yeah, no, I think it would be 100% a very good idea. I really would. But it's a hard sell for liberals because they have this they kind of have this idea sometimes where like if you're in a room with a gun, you're just gonna the gun is gonna like whisper in your ear and you're just gonna need to like pick it up and just shoot somebody or something. Like it's very strange.
Do they think it's like when you're driving on the road and you're like, but I kind of want to swerve into traffic?
Yeah. Well,
there's two people. I want to hit them.
You know what's weird is I own lots of guns. I have tons of guns. I have thought about swerving into traffic and just pasting myself in random people so many fucking times. I have never in my life, and anytime I've just been shooting or whatever, never in my life have I ever had a thought that I should shoot somebody. Never thought about it. Like I've thought about what would happen if I needed to do that. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, it's kind of exciting, but also, dude, shut the fuck up. That's dumb. But I've never been like, grab it and be like, huh. No, it's never happened. Never happened. But I was taught how to use a gun and gun safety when I was 5 years old. So,
right.
I think that really does play a part.
I just don't think that it makes sense for people to be like, everybody should have a gun. Guns should be everywhere. This is a law. This is a rule. We expect that everybody should have a gun, open carry, concealed carry, and then provide no training. So like you have it as this huge part of your culture, but learning how to use it is not. And it's just how did you do this?
Well, we don't spend money on our education except to harden the schools. We don't want to make the situation better.
I hate the American education.
They don't want to. They don't want to teach us for actual things that will make us ready for the adult world.
No,
like
When did you learn how to shoot a gun?
When I was. Before I was even a teenager. I remember learning it from my dad, because he, growing up, him and his brother and his dad, and my grandpa, movies and everything held. I think my first time actually shooting an actual revolver, even though if it was on one of my dad's movie sets, it's filled with blanks, but still. Always pointing. Yeah. I was like firing at nothing, but still acting like I was firing at someone.
Sure.
And always making sure that my dad always taught me that even though that there's nothing coming out of them, these things are still dangerous weapons. Do never point it at someone just for fun, especially like at someone because it could go off. Always assume. Sure. Yeah.
Always assume the gun is loaded. It's unloaded. Yeah.
And even
I know
especially
that.
If it's never point a gun at someone, even if it's unloaded or anything.
Yeah. I mean, and I think like.
And I remember like the specific gun that my dad promised me, like I would have, like not too long before he passed away. It was like one of the movies that I used in one of the recent films. It was like a Ruger 45 caliber revolver.
Nice. Yeah. This is great.
Yeah, I have my uncle actually. The last time I was up in Enid, visiting my uncle and Jeffrey, I actually went to the museum, and my uncle showed me the gun, and he said that Dad never really took care of it. He never cleaned it properly.
Oh no!
I looked at it. I looked at it. It's like, oh my god, it is really dirty. I need to take this apart and clean it.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's fun.
It was like sticking at certain parts where I was like pulled back. Like when I was cocking, it was like, oh shit, it's not cocking all the way because it was like jamming up. It's like shit. You didn't really clean it as much.
It's filthy. Yeah, I don't know, man. So somebody had an interesting question. I feel like concealed carry is worse than open carry. Why would you want guns concealed? I have a concealed carry permit, and I had to go through taking a class. I got licensed through the sheriff's department. Like, I legally can hide a gun on my body as long as it's considered a handgun. It's also funny too because I also have a handgun that is really long with a folding stock and a 32-round magazine that can fit my backpack. It's called the CZ Scorpion Evo 3.
You gotta like walk like you've got a bum leg because you're carrying it down your pants. Can't bend your
legally, I could have that thing under a trench coat and it would be fucking legal. I could walk anywhere in town with that as long as it wasn't a gun-free zone, and it would be legal because I have a concealed carry. And it's very, very strange because gun laws are very dumb. Very dumb.
Did you had to go out of your way to get more licensing and training to be allowed to do that, though?
In Oregon, yes. There are some states that are constitutional carry where you don't. You can just do it. But yeah, right. I did. And I'm
Texas might be one of those states.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, I think Missouri, New Hampshire, and I think there might be a few more, but I don't think you can. I think you have to get a license to conceal carry in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. I'm curious about that. And I'm very comfortable with the idea. Like, I had to have a federal background check done,
right.
And I'm very comfortable with that, because I know I can pass it. I've never been arrested, strangely.
Right. Yeah, how have you not been arrested?
That seems not.
Never been caught.
This was from last year. Texas can carry handguns without a license or training starting September 1st after Governor Abbott signs permitless carry bill into law.
That's right. Yeah. He just recently deregulated. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was from last year.
Wouldn't having your gun visible be a deterrent for criminals? That, the thing is, sure, but I'm not really worried about criminals when it comes to having guns. I don't own guns to defend against criminals. I don't. The reason why I have a concealed carry, and I don't always carry, but I carry sometimes, is because people randomly decide to shoot up random shit. Like schools, parades, and fucking grocery stores and shit like that. And if I'm in one of those places and some dude starts fucking opening up on people, I'd like to have a gun.
I mean, arguably that would be a criminal, but you mean like breaking into your house or something like that.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I like that's why I conceal carry is, if I'm out in public and somebody decides to do a mass shooting, then I have a gun.
This is something you actually need to be concerned about, though. That's the thing that's like, why do you have to be concerned that this is likely enough that I've actively gone out of my way?
Right. And that's if it was just me, like if I just go out by myself, I usually don't take it. But if I go with my wife and my kid, I take it. Because, like I've got a reason that I might want to be a little bit more paranoid. And it's fucked up that we live in a country where that might be something that you have to be concerned about. You might have to think
of mental health and additional stresses that probably ought not to be on people.
Right.
I would say so. Yes. Yeah.
Children are not allowed leaving the house ever.
Mm-hmm.
Get a big
And
dog.
I remember, like,
you've never heard of a
like,
mass
hearing
shooting?
on the radio.
Sorry, there's a bit of lag.
Go ahead, buddy.
I remember, like, hearing on the radio, like, just as I was working a couple days ago, like, they were talking about the anniversary of the shooting that happened in, I think, downtown Dallas during a BLM protester, where, like, a couple where officers passed away. And I was like, holy shit, I forgot about that entirely. Because I think that happened like 2016. I think it happened like, what, 2016?
There are so many shootings in America, you would not be able to name them all in 1 year.
Right.
Without, like, studying it.
It was like I remember, like, it was like such a big thing that happened in Dallas because it was like during, I think, a very prolific BLM protesting. And
Right.
I remember just, like, I was at home and I just heard all these sirens just going throughout the night. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And then the next morning I found out.
Yeah, it's fucking gnarly, man. There are examples of good guys with a gun stopping mass shooting.
It's not the cops.
No, it sure as fuck is not the cops. Now, is it? Well, I mean, sometimes it is the cops, but to be fair, I don't
to
want
the good cops out there who try their best to do their jobs and aren't shitheads. Good on you.
Yeah.
Right.
The New Life shooting, actually, there was a woman. It was a woman, actually. It was the New Life church shooting. It was like 2007 or something like that. And yeah, she had a concealed carry and she fucking stopped the mass shooting. I mean, it happens. It fucking happens. So I don't know. It's just one of those things. But here's the thing: even if it's not very common, ask yourself this: you're just out and about and you're doing whatever. You're going to like a movie. You go to see Thor: Love and Thunder, right? And you're there with your family, and all of a sudden, some fucking shithead decides like he's the second coming of some vague historical Greek whatever, and starts opening fire and shooting up a bunch of people. Now, would you rather have a gun and it not help rather than not have a gun and you know it still has the same outcome? I would rather have it so I can make the attempt. I'd rather have that because in the grand scheme of things, if you are to be killed by gun violence, I would much rather at least have some sort of equalization, even if I'm not going to make it. I think that's fair. Now, what's unfair is that we even have to ask this question.
Yeah, the question is justifying itself at that point, right? Because it's like the gun violence already exists. So would you rather have the opportunity to potentially fight back on an equal playing field, or at least try to equalize the playing field, or try to just get rid of guns in their entirety and this asshole's still gonna have a gun?
Well, I mean, if somebody comes in with like an AR-15,
I've always heard about this. Right. I've heard about that argument that you're talking about. I can see both I can see both sides of like the good and the bad to that side entirely. One, I do agree, like it would definitely be helpful of having, you know, a concealed carry in at times of uncertainty, but like especially like if you're in a theater and hypothetically speaking that you managed to get the bad guy, you still had to possibly deal with the cops if they do show up and if they don't know the actual description of the assailant or anything. They don't know what the fuck they're going into. The only thing that they know going into that damn thing is that there's an active shooter and there's multiple people going on. They don't know what the guy looks like.
Yep, that has happened so many fucking times, dude. So many times. Like it was just, I think last year there was a mass shooting, and this dude stopped the mass shooting, and the cops fucking shot him in the brain.
Yep.
Like,
right.
Yeah.
Good guy with a gun. Stopping the bad guy with a gun. Stopped by cops.
We just created the bad guys with the gun of the fucking
This is such a it's like a vicious fucking cycle. It doesn't it's just the answer is like the answer's not that simple for one, right? Like getting rid of guns isn't going to solve the problem. There's not one thing that's going to be like a catch-all do everything.
No.
Like, what are you supposed to do? And the thing is like, how are you going to be a good guy with the gun and out amateur the bad guy with a gun if you don't have any fucking training?
Exactly. That is the number one biggest fucking thing too. Like somebody was saying, you know, you could end up hurting other people if you do not know how to use a gun. You should not have a gun on you. If you are not able to get yourself familiar with how a gun functions and the basic fundamentals of it, you shouldn't even fucking own a gun. Like some people say, well, I think maybe you should have to get a license and prove competency before you own a gun. I would love that. I think that would be fantastic. Absolutely. I think it's a good idea. It will never happen, but I wish it would, because I think that would actually be a good idea. Sure. Because here's the thing.
I'm always pro more education.
Yeah, dude, education is always a good idea. Always. In every regard, even guns. If you are a legal fucking gun owner, you've had to go through the basic training, you understand how the fucking thing works, you've shot it, you've trained with it, you are licensed, everything's cool. And then some dickhead fucking 17-year-old white kid, because they're always comes running in, shit or whatever. Like, it's not like you're gonna be like, whoa, and it's gonna be like a fucking Benny Hill sort of thing where you can't fucking catch the gun. Whoa, you know what to do. You have trained for this. You understand how this goes. And it's all because we live in this sick fucking culture of America that we even have to do this. But here we are, and this is what we have. And then you have training. You know how to fucking do it, and you're like, I
feel like education is going to solve like a handful of your problems too, right? Because if you just do better in education, not only will you have this scenario improved and your gun situation improved, but it would also improve your nationalist or white nationalist situation. Because it's hard to be a white nationalist when you know things.
Yeah.
So there's like, I think it would help at least people deal with their mental health issues, especially when you have better education about mental health, or you have better education or people that are dealing with the other people, right? So like if you got more kids that are more cognizant and aware of what, let's say you're going to blame bullies. Oh, this kid was bullied at school, because I've seen that a lot. This kid was bullied at school, and because he was bullied, he snapped. It's like, where he's been bullied for how many years?
And nothing was done to stop it.
Right. You know, he's living in this fucked up, broken home, with just broken home. It doesn't mean anything, but like an abusive home, very low income. He has no real access to services. He's being bullied all the time. Nobody's helping him. Nobody's confronting the other kids. Nobody's like getting into these social programs to try and like get these children happy. Happy.
There's like
a weird fucking concept.
Decent chance he's probably hungry, because if he's coming from an abusive home, he's probably not eating properly, or if they're low income, there's a decent chance that he doesn't have meals at school.
And the thing is too, like
dude, people get hangry, man. Everything bothers you more if you're hungry.
God,
it's so fucking bizarre to me, because somebody says like, well, why can't some of this stuff happen? I'll tell you exactly why it fucking can't happen. Exactly why. Right now in the United States, where you live will dictate how well your kids are going to do in school. That's just the facts, because the amount of money that goes into the goddamn schools is tied directly to the property taxes of the surrounding area. You live in a shitty, cheap, ghetto-ass area, you're going to have your kids going to a cheap, shitty, ghetto-ass fucking school. That kid will get a subpar fucking education, lack of access to vital resources, much more likely to fall off or fall into crime or do whatever, and over and over and over again. It is a self-perpetuating cycle. It is disgusting, and it's fucking inhuman, and we don't change it.
Nope.
We don't fucking change it.
I cannot.
Like, this is one of the one things that is the most evil fucking concepts in this fucking country. We don't change that, and you think that we're gonna have actual common sense, like supporting children gun reform? No, this is America.
Land of the free and the home of go fuck yourself.
That's right.
This is America.
I don't like, I just, it boggles my mind to find out that because our schools are provincially funded.
Yes.
So no matter where you go in the province, and the what is part of education is federally decided. So all of the schools in the province have a bare bones minimum that they have to meet federally, and then it's the province's job to divvy up the money of how they're going to fund that education around. Now, do we do the best job at it? No. Does it need to be better? Yeah. Does it need to be improved? Of course. Does Canada have fucking political problems? Yes. We have problems.
Yep.
But we don't have like sections of cities that are just like the education system is complete shit.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm not as familiar. I've lived in some pretty hard places like New Orleans and whatnot, but I never really got familiar with like the schooling. But I did get familiar with the schooling in Portland, and for a time, I was kind of a mentor / big brother to this young woman. This is a girl. She's like 16. I just kind of watched out for her. We all were in like the same group of miscreant, street rat people, and I made sure that she would go to school. But the problem was we lived in such a dilapidated area. She lived in the worst school district in the entire fucking state. And this place was a fucking hole.
When you make the school dangerous.
Yeah. And like, I remember very specifically, she started junior year and she's like, I don't understand blah. And I was like, what the fuck do you mean you don't understand blah? You learned that in like 5th grade. She's like, no, I never did. I'm like, all right, fuck. Okay. Well, we're going to have to learn you. And
every poor area needs a Big Brother Jeff Holiday.
Well, we should clone me. But
go homeschool all the street rat kids.
Yeah. But that's the thing that I keep coming back to when it comes to this gun issue is like, the Republicans are going to say mental health, and Democrats are going to say we need to stop the guns. And if we address one of those two, they each think that's what's going to like solve it. And it's funny because I am on the left. The Republicans are more right than the Democrats are. They are. Mm-hmm. They're not right, but they're more right. And we have a whole lot of terrible, terrible things that are wrong with this country that we need to fucking address because they are more important than the issue of guns, and they will help the issue of guns while we fix them.
The whole partisan issue, right? Where it's like, well, only the left or the right are your only options, right? So just between the three of us, we've posited like, 7 or 8 different angles that you could approach this from that don't touch the Republican, the right, or it's not inherently a partisan issue.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be at all.
Health and safety?
Yeah. What? How is that gonna clock with my lobbyist money? It's fucking.
Well, yeah, I can't imagine the NRA wanting to have more people and guns in schools to educate children with. That's certainly not good for those lobbyists. More money for them.
Right. Is there a lot of NRA love in Texas, Egg?
Oh yeah. I mean, Christ. We had like literally that Friday after the Uvalde shooting, we had the NRA conference.
That was in Texas
Houston area. Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that's so fucking crazy.
NRA here.
I don't understand how people on the right like the NRA. I don't understand why they like them. Like, the NRA was behind some of the most restrictive fucking gun laws ever. Like, ever. They
would have to be educated in the history, though.
See, and that's why the NRA doesn't want us to teach our kids, because then their kids might realize that guns are based and the NRA are frauds. Probably. I don't know.
Go true punk, real anarchist. Fuck the NRA.
Yeah. Well, dude, yeah, fuck the NRA. Fuck the NRA. No, they're bullshit, man. The NRA was like, well, we need to do something that's going to like help people, especially after like the Las Vegas shooting. That's like, we'll sponsor like, the bump stock bands because nobody fucking used bump stocks. Nobody gave a shit. Whatever. But then like the Mulford Act was enacted Ronald Reagan and the NRA enacted the Mulford Act. You know why? Because there was a huge contingent of black people with guns in California.
I'm sorry, did you just say Reagan?
Reagan.
Why is everything Reagan and Nixon at the core of shit? It's either Reagan or Nixon, and like every problem that currently exists in America can be like strung its way back to these two motherfuckers.
Yep. And Smitty, you're absolutely right. The NRA represents gun manufacturers and lobby groups. It's not even really about gun rights as it is about a political machine of influence and power and money. It really doesn't have anything to do with guns at all anymore. Not really. It does have to do with the gun manufacturers to a certain point, but it's not because of the notion of the gun, but more of their money. Simple as that. So, but we get sold this idea that the right is the party of freedom. We're all about guns and blah, 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 blah. And it's so stupid. It's so stupid. And it turns off everybody else. Like a lot of these other people being like, well, I can't own a gun because people would think I'm a weird right winger. And like, that's not true. It's not true.
I feel like I remember it's like as if the gun identifies you, right? Like,
yeah. I need to know your pronoun. What are you carrying today?
Yeah, I don't need to know what you're into. I need to know what kind of gun you're holding.
That's right.
Are you packing meat or not?
Are you packing meat?
That's good. That's good. I like that.
Good. Next time Egghead goes to the bar.
Oh, Jesus Christ. When do you think I would ever go to the fucking bar?
When I'm in Texas.
Yeah, or when I'm in Texas. What the fuck? Come on.
You go or to when the bar
you guys
are okay, both yes to those two scenarios.
Yeah.
Or when you guys are in Oregon. When you guys are in Oregon and we just went shooting all day and now we're gonna go hit the bar.
I will absolutely go shooting with Jeff Holiday. I would love to learn how to shoot a gun from you. That'd be amazing.
I would go shooting with you.
I believe it.
Yeah. We'd have a lot of fun.
And then we go to the bar.
No. So much bar. Oh my god.
So I feel like I remember there was at one point in time on a previous Twitter account that Jeff had. It was when Antifa was really hitting its stride. I think that I had seen you talking about like every black person should go out and buy a gun.
Yes, I believe that 100%.
I would imagine that you still do.
Yeah. Because the thing is, it comes back to the very basic common sense thing. Like, should we enact gun laws? Okay, we can. And if we talk about it sensibly and not like this, but like think about it.
Yeah.
Maybe we can make some laws that might mitigate it. Sure. I'd like that. But we don't live in that world right now. And things are getting worse and things are getting kind of fucking crazy. And you do have like hardcore white supremacists, like fucking weirdo Patriot Front fucking LARPer dickheads that are going around out there. And they have guns. They have AR-15s. They're very heavily armed, okay? And they hate you.
They're also very, very scared of everything.
They are. They're all fucking like they're soy fucking pussies, to be honest. But some of them might not be. Some of them might not. And they hate you. They hate you. They hate black people. They hate Jewish people. They hate trans people. So I think gay, black, Jewish, trans, anybody who's not with them should fucking have a gun. I think so. And you should train with the gun. You should get really good with the gun. And you should make friends with your neighbors. So that if some fucking dickhead shows up in a white fucking hood, your whole ass neighborhood will come out and fill his ass full of lead. Fuck it.
I think that there's something to be said for like the idea of subverting the law in a way that forces it to change. It's malicious compliance. It's like, okay, you want everybody to have guns? Cool. Let's all get fucking guns.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Your kid's going to school with his gun.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to leave it in the locker outside.
That would be fucking nuts, man.
Your kid comes out of school, is out of the gun-free zone, and he picks his gun up before he gets in the car, and you go off, you wave goodbye with your gun in your hand. Bye, everybody.
Right. Yep. Bye, everybody. Gotta go home. Gotta go target practice with my dad.
Well, I mean, now you've got in a situation where the one kid who wants to shoot up the school is going to be confronted with a bunch of other kids who all know how to use guns.
It scares the wider liberal base to talk about more guns, and it is unfortunate because, like, I can goof off and tell jokes and be silly about it like this and whatnot. Like, it's not something that's really ever going to be embraced on the larger left-hand side. Instead, what I try and advocate for when I talk to people about it is just a matter of just reclaiming your own power, learning how things work, making sure that you understand how all of this operates and you feel that you yourself are not in some way lessened because you do not have access to, the weapon of death that people who hate you do have.
Right.
And I think that's an important thing. I don't know. I don't know. It's just one of those fucking things, and I do worry about the future. I'm trying not to go all Tim Pool about like civil fucking war or anything, but I've been pretty freaked out lately. So
I mean, I don't blame you. And it's been like an escalating issue, right? And it just keeps going and going and going. You've got partisanship in the Supreme Court, which is absurd. People talk about people going on strike as if it's absurd at their workplace. When you've got a partisan Supreme Court, that's insane. You're not even supposed to know what party those people are affiliated with.
Exactly. Those three words should never be put together, ever. Like the very nature of what it's supposed to be. So we're fucked up right now, man.
And again, it's been an escalation. It's not like people are suddenly, oh, surprise, civil war. No. This is like, escalating problems.
Sure.
But I don't know. Sure. I'm a fan of the malicious compliance as a way to basically enforce change.
Sure. Right. I like that idea too. Remove the whole comfort aspect to it.
Rodent No Last Name asked insurance requirement for gun ownership.
What do you think, Egg?
I'm not sure on that one. I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't think
Illinois, where the parade shooting thing happened, and you have to get you have to have a card to own a gun. It's said that if you have a cosigner, which his dad did cosign, that cosigner is then legally responsible for any misconduct done with that gun by that owner.
Huh.
I don't know if they're going to enforce it or not, because this might be another case of a gun law that we're like, it sounds good, but us police, we're tired.
Right.
We don't want to
run. Doing things.
We don't get Timbits down here like they do upstairs.
But I mean, what do you think? Do you think maybe there's like a way we can incentivize something like that?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Would it operate like a car, like a driver's license? So, like, if your kid is driving your car and get into an accident, you have that specific kind of liability on your insurance?
Could possibly. Right. That could work.
Well, that might actually compel some gun owners who, like, their kids have like stolen their guns to go do terrible things. Might compel them to lock up better. I could be kind of cool with that. Yeah. I guess the question is, like, would it be like, do we want to do an insurance or a licensing? If we do like an insurance, then are you talking about insurance for every gun? Because if you're talking about every gun, then that sounds like it's kind of a legislation to make it prohibitively expensive.
I mean, you do both for cars. Maybe there's like group packages you could get. So if you get like this gun, and this gun, like on this package, you're allowed to have this, and this, and that would be your insurance. True. And you're licensed to have guns between here and here. So it works like your A license, your B license, your C license for driving in different kinds of trucks.
But I'll put it like this. So if you do insurance like you do cars, obviously having access to many cars and being able to insure many cars is cost prohibitive and means that really only the super ultra rich can afford to have many cars and have them insured. Right. And on the flip side, you're basically money gating that only rich people can have like a gun collection. And I just don't know. I don't know. Maybe if it was like affordable enough ish, then it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But
So
like, I have
it
a
would
lot
be
of
a clash. So now it's getting into like a whole nother clash issue, right? So and like the
right,
economic gap, and so I think we all agree
right.
that the economic gap is a problem, right? I don't think any of us disagree with that.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of mass shooters that come from like pretty well off families.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
Yeah.
like
absolutely. So
you know,
if so, it sounds like it's almost like we would be able to, or you would be more willing to grant the idea of a licensing and an insurance if the economic gap wasn't as much of a disparagement as it was.
right,
So it's like a
right.
privilege to be able to do things like licensing and
Have a gun limit. Why the fuck would you want to have a gun limit? Guns are great.
this is America, damn it.
Hang on. We gotta address it. We gotta address it real quick here. We gotta address something real quick here. This is very important.
Oh
Actually, when it
wait,
comes
hold on. Before you go,
okay.
we're gonna do this. Okay, go.
Okay.
Do it, Jeff.
We need to understand something very, very important right now about guns. Okay. Guns are fun. Guns are fucking great. They're a lot of fucking fun. And I own an AR-15. I don't need an AR-15. There's no point in my life, at any point in my life, will I ever be in a situation where I'm going to need an AR-15. I am not going to be stalking through the rice paddy fields trying to fight some overwhelming fucking government oppressive fucking military forces trying to erode my freedoms and kill my fucking family, and I have to engage in a guerrilla fucking warfare to actually like take them out. That's not going to fucking happen. I'm not going to be on a property where 30 or 40 feral fucking hogs are going to show up and I'm going to have to like fucking cap them out super, super fucking quick. I don't need a fucking AR-15. I don't need an AR-15. But you know what? I have an AR-15. And why do I have one? Because it's fun. And because I can. Because I can. You know what the risk is that I'm ever going to be a mass shooter? Zero. Never going to fucking happen. So why should you be able to take it away from me? You shouldn't. You can make restrictions by which I have to prove that I'm a safe person to own that AR-15, and I will pass them every time, and I have no fucking problem for that. But this idea that you want to limit whether or not people can have an amount of guns, like the concept of it is so, and this is why I'm tying back into this whole thing of the whole concept of whether or not guns have to make sense, because they don't. They don't have to make sense. They just have to be, and I have to use them. The idea of limiting how many guns people can be is not going to limit the effect that somebody can have on killing another fucking human being. If I have 3 guns, I can kill with those 3 guns. If I have 25 plus guns, which I might, I don't know, I haven't counted in a while, I'm not going to be able to kill more people than I would if I only had those 3 guns. It's as simple as that. So this idea that you need to limit how many guns people can have is a bad argument, and just toss that away. Mic drop.
You like the stinger?
That was good.
I mean,
that was good.
I don't know. I don't think limiting would solve the problem, right? So you could, like, how are you going to limit, especially if you're talking about collections? Like if somebody's going to be like a big collector, how are you going to limit their collection? Like you're going to start limiting people's Funko Pops? You can only have one room of Funko Pops. Any more than that, and that's too many Funko Pops.
No. So not addressing what I said. I was addressing your point about rich people having gun collections being a problem. Yeah, it is, because then I can't have a gun collection. You're incentivizing that only the rich can enjoy the privilege of having many, many different guns to shoot from. Like, what the fuck? Why is that okay?
If you limit it, it's not a collection anymore. That's not how collectors work, right? So like,
yeah,
a lot of the time collectors aren't actually utilizing the stuff that people who have all those cars and have all those cars insured, they can't drive them all at the same time.
Yeah, it's fucking like the point that I'm trying to make is not that necessarily like the point I'm making is very simple. The idea of having to put a limit on that only or like an insurance in that degree allows that only rich people, and it enhances a class issue that rich people have the ability to have a gun collection. That's fucked up. Anybody should be able to have a gun collection if they fucking want to. And if you have 10,000 guns, you're not preparing a baby army. You have an investment. Because here's the other thing that's interesting about guns. If you buy a gun and you take it home and you take care of it and you maintain it and you don't fuck it up, when you sell that gun, usually it is worth the same value or more, depending on how old it is. Guns are actually an incredibly good financial investment. If you buy a car,
oh god, don't no, please.
Off that fucking lot, yeah, dude. Moment you drive off that fucking lot with a car, it is now $10,000 less valuable.
Cars are the worst. They're the worst.
The worst. They're not a fucking investment at all.
If I had the opportunity and I could decide to do anything on the planet and I could only pick one thing to do, it would be to abolish every city, burn every city to the ground, and rebuild it so it's not built around fucking cars.
Yeah, I would be in favor of that. You can set the limit at 10 guns or something so that rich people can't, so nobody could own a collection.
Collections Why the fuck? Yeah, that doesn't work like that. It doesn't make any sense.
Why would you do that? Why in the fuck would anybody fucking do that? If I have 10 guns and I'm going to go do a crime, okay? Having 10 guns is not going to make my crime worse than if I have 3 guns. Okay?
I don't know if 10,000 guns is like a red flag to what. The only way you're forming an army is if you have people to utilize the guns. So the guns themselves aren't the red flag. The people following the person would be the red flag.
If Jordan Peterson is discovered to have 10,000 guns, I'll get a little weirded out. Stefan Molyneux, sure, but you know, if it's like that dude from Tremors,
handing them out to people. Oh yeah, the guy married to Reba.
Yeah, Burt
Reynolds. I love Tremors.
I do too. I absolutely love it. Yeah, I know you never mentioned crime. But like the whole point of it is that what you're talking about is not going to fucking do anything to help anybody about guns.
The idea of, well, okay, so the whole point, if I'm understanding correctly, for guns to be an amendment is that everybody should have fairly open access to them, right, within reason. Meaning rich, poor. Being rich or being poor isn't going to inherently limit you. As long as you have the money to pay for it, you should still be able to buy it.
I think so. Well, and you know, if we want to put some gatekeep laws into it, I'm totally amenable to it, and I think it's reasonable. It's utterly reasonable.
So the only way I could think of is like if you're getting like group insurance. So for every 10 guns you own, you need a different insurance plan for that group.
Nah, I don't even think that would. I don't think
it sounds like it would be complicated. One of the things I hate in Canada is that you are required by law to, if you're driving a car, to have insurance, but the insurance companies are not regulated. So you have a company, like basically a entirely corporation run legal requirement. That's bullshit.
Yeah. So, okay, real quick, I'm just going to put this to bed real fast.
Yeah.
You say we can't have a certain regulation because poor people won't be able to afford huge gun collections, but rich people will. Yes. Unironically, yes. Fuck the rich. They should not be allowed more privileges of basic fucking fundamental rights. Guns shouldn't be a fundamental rights, but in this country, they are. Sorry, just how it is. But also, we should be giving guns out for free so homeless people aren't gatekept from having gun collections. You say that as a fucking joke, but honestly, yes. Yes. 100% yes. Arm the fucking homeless. Arm the fucking people of color. Arm fucking trans people. Arm gay people. Arm all of them. Give them fucking guns. I'm not fucking joking. I'm not fucking around anymore. I'm 100% serious. You're trying to sit there with your smug ass fucking... No, you fucking moron. Yes. Arm them. I don't fucking care because we can't take the guns away. And if we can't take the guns away, then the people that are going to be fucking harmed by all this shit, give them a fucking fighting chance. To say anything otherwise is to be some smarmy ass fucking Libyan. Well, maybe we should just make a law like that. You're not even fucking thinking about it. It's stupid. It's inane. It's absolutely fucking inane. I swear to fucking Christ, man, I can't handle this lib shit. It's so fucking dumb. There's empty head, no fucking thoughts. put into any of this kind of shit.
It feels like idealism without a reality check.
Yes. For fuck's sake. I finally addressed the situation because I was trying to be fucking nice to you because everything you're typing is fucking stupid and moronic. What the fuck? Holy shit, your chat is pissing me off, Chesh. I'm sorry.
Get him, Jeff.
Get him, Jeff.
Anyway, this isn't the world that I want to live in, and it's not the world that we deserve, but it is a world that we are currently in, and it sucks, and it's unfortunate, and I wish I had better answers that were more innovative, and I'm willing to listen to other people do so. But
I mean, I don't even necessarily disagree with the idea either, because what you're positing is saying, hey, listen, people are suffering and they're going to die via gun violence, and we're not going to do anything about it, so malicious compliance. Get everybody a gun. You've got guns to volunteer to people, let them have it. At least it'll give people a chance to defend themselves from the fucking police.
Sure.
Because that's a whole nother issue, right? So if...
No, go ahead. I'm gonna take a minute to breathe.
Breathe, Jeff. Breathe. Get more wine.
Some water.
He needs another juice box.
Eat some juice
no more
boxes
juice.
in
Okay.
there.
No more juice box.
No more juice box. Eggy, what do you think? You gonna arm homeless people?
Especially with how today's stances are going, and I would say definitely should arm oneself.
Could we all agree, by the way, that being homeless is not a mental illness? Being poor is not a mental illness, because people are like, oh, this person has this mental illness and this person has this mental. No, they're just stressed out because they have no money.
Right.
Yeah. There definitely are. There's a lot of the Venn diagram bleeds over a lot, but the thing is too, there needs to be a push to stop stigmatizing people being mentally ill and stop stigmatizing people being fucking poor. These are things that we can address simultaneously and with compassion. It is, we do get into this weird situation where I'm saying yeah, I'm the homeless, and unironically, yeah, sure, fuck yeah, why not, fuck, level playing field.
Tell me why you think homeless people should not be given guns, because that's a whole nother question now, right? So why shouldn't they be allowed to have guns?
Because again, maybe it comes into the whole point of proving competence, getting licensed and shit like that. I am in favor of gun license, proving competence. I think it's a fine idea of I guess the reason why I unironically am okay with the concept of arm the fucking homeless is we had a stretch here in Eugene for a while where there was a group of college kids, and this went for a year and a half, and they never got fucking caught. And they would go down to the river and they would beat homeless people to death.
I heard about that.
Happened 7 or 8 times in a year and a half. Nobody ever caught them, but they knew it was fucking college kids. And it was really fucked up. It was really, really fucked up. And it's unfortunate because when it really comes down to the topic of freedom and guns, is we have to deal with this situation, this terrible, shitty, fucked up situation where America is a land of violence, has more guns than there are people, and you want to find a way to mitigate that, and we're never going to be able to get rid of the guns. It's a foregone conclusion. It's never going to happen.
I think it's interesting. So Gage said something that says, I'm not sure what they're saying they don't agree with because it's time chat, but I agree more with homeless people getting homes. Maybe people would be more likely to be helpful towards homeless people and getting them homes if they had guns and were a threat.
Yeah.
You don't want homeless, you're homeless, here's your complimentary gun.
Yeah. Look, okay, so before they were a little smelly.
They were a little bit dangerous, but I had a gun. Now they have a gun.
Now they have guns. I'm gonna vote for the city councilman that's gonna put them in a house, so they aren't camping next to my begonias or whatever the fuck. I don't know, man. But for real, it's fucking crazy.
Like
I don't know.
you said earlier, like how like people should arm themselves, and just last month alone, how the Supreme Court it was just stripping a lot of rights away,
Yeah.
and how ironic during Pride Month of all months they were doing that shit, especially with Roe v. Wade,
Yep.
and I'm just thinking to myself, if what you're talking about, how people should arm themselves, how with how uh, in the fall they're going to be doing possibly more overturning of crucial rights that
Oh,
these
they
people
will.
have.
Same time.
It wouldn't
Oh yeah.
surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if they stripped gay rights next at some point, like the ability to fucking marry.
How long is it till it's
And
guns?
yeah, never. I mean, Christ, they
Only for
fucking
some people.
literally on like literally like the day before they removed Roe v. Wade, they made a ruling that that the entire state of New York cannot make um their own gun laws or whatever. They can't have the state do
Yeah.
that shit. But then
Yeah.
literally the next fucking day it says we give the states rights to regulate women.
Yeah, that was fucked up, man. That was one of the things that drove me fucking crazy. Because like
There's no
I
consistency ever.
as a Second Amendment advocate, as somebody who's a big gun nut and shit, like I do respect the idea that each state's gonna figure out and dictate how they want to make their laws on like their concealed carry, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. I don't know like necessarily which way I'd really want to go in the broader topic of it, but it's so hypocritical that the court would then be like, well, we're going to remove states' rights for guns, but we're going to enhance states' rights for those those women, the 50%, over 50% of the country. Like it's really fucking dumb.
Hey, women, get more guns.
Yes,
Exactly.
arm women, arm women, arm all women. Yes, fuck yeah, dude, absolutely.
Women are also known to be pretty goddamn good shots. Sorry, go ahead, Egghead.
I said arms the women, because without the women,
Hey,
women
listen,
can rule this country.
if it's totally okay for men to go out there and advocate that they should be gifted women to have sex with whenever they damn well please and feel like they should be able to have sex with any woman they damn well please whenever they damn well feel like it, arm women!
Mm-hmm.
I 100% agree.
No means no. They persist. Pull out the weapon.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I don't know.
Just having a giggle at chat at this point.
No, I know. I was looking at chat, but like somebody was keeps trying to say that like I never addressed a certain point, but I feel like I addressed almost every single point that one person put. I also muted that person because I don't give a fuck and they're fucking annoying and they're not making any sense. So if somebody else knows what their point is and wants to translate it into like legit mammalian speech for me to fucking understand, I will actually address it.
All right. I got you. Smitty, send me your whole point in one thing because that's part of the problem is it's getting like chunked out, right? And it's not timed properly. Send me in Discord DMs, send me your whole point in one thing and I will read it and I will do my best to translate it as necessary and get it to Jeff so that way he can address whatever it is you are trying to tell him.
Yeah, because this isn't working. Like,
Boom.
Yeah. Dude, we'll do that. We'll do that.
I got Discord open right here.
Can't do mammal speech. Yeah, no, I feel you. I totally feel you. So have either of you two ever shot an AR-15?
Nope.
No, I have not shot an AR-15. The only gun I ever shot was just the revolver.
I've shot a bow.
So
that's a thing up here.
Oh, dude, I love fucking shooting bows. Bows are fun. Awesome. Yeah.
I like how there's rules on. So you want to talk about dumb laws that have to do with like ammunition?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
No, I do.
Oh, I thought you said no.
Yeah, so
Canada has, you can carry and open carry any kind of bow, there are rules when you start getting into like crossbows and stuff, but like hand bows, including compact bows, you're allowed to just carry around, and you're allowed to have length of arrow is not relevant. They only have to be blunted. So as long as they're blunted, but the thing is that blunt, once you get a high enough on your compact, is meaningless. It means nothing.
It's gonna go right through your fucking body.
Yeah, it's completely irrelevant. Yeah, it's a dumb rule that doesn't make any sense. But people are just like, whatever.
Yeah, 75.
I mean, we don't make a big deal of it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's funny. That's really fucking funny. Fucking throwing blunt arrows straight through somebody's body.
Yeah.
It was blunt. It's fine.
It's not illegal.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're totally open carry. You can just walk down the road with a bow on your back if you want.
I mean,
in like Toronto.
Yeah. That'd be great. That'd be great. Dude, I don't think anybody would mug somebody if they had like a quiver and a bow on their back. Like nobody's gonna fucking rob that person.
No, it's a little bit hard because once you get up close, you can't do a whole lot with your bow, but now you have to get away from the person you just stole from who's got a compact bow.
True. Well, I'm not talking like logistically, but I'm just thinking like some random gangbanger or something is like, yeah, I need to go fucking score. I need to rob somebody and be like, the fuck are they wearing a bow and arrow?
Yeah.
Nah.
No, that guy. Alicia for 5 said someone shot 3 people with a crossbow in the street in my hometown in like 2016-ish. Damn. Did they die or did they just get shot?
That's nuts.
I need answers. There was one other thing from Gage. They
Give us answers to this question.
We also refuse to take care of our mentally ill. And in America, to a degree, I think it also really depends on where you live. America's inconsistent as fuck. You guys got to stop calling yourselves a country.
Yeah. We're a loose confederation of a bunch of, well, I don't want to be disparaging to other states and whatnot, but we don't have quality control across all of our states. I'll just put it that way.
They died.
Isn't that the fucking truth? I can only imagine what quality of life is in Oregon compared to how it is in Texas.
Well, I mean, Texas isn't bad. I would say like compare Oregon or Texas to like Mississippi. Mississippi has some of the worst standards of living in the entire fucking country.
Really?
It's beautiful. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's terrible. Mississippi, West Virginia, and I'm trying to remember what the other one that was really fucking bad.
Alabama?
It's surprisingly Alabama is not in the top 5, I think.
Is it Kentucky?
Maybe it's Oklahoma.
It might be Oklahoma for all I know.
Jeff, where is it that you live? I'm gonna guess there.
Stories coming from there recently.
But it's one of those fucking things. Like even Oregon, as amazing and beautiful as Oregon is, just by the statistics, it's not like on the top echelon of great states to live. But we have this disparity of quality of life that spans the gamut between all these different states and shit. It's really weird.
I don't understand why there's like this. Why people have such, and this isn't just an America problem. This happens in Canada. This happens in a lot of places. Why people seem to think it's a bad idea to set a standard for base of living. Like, what do you need to live? And it's just a conversation that people just can't seem to wrap their heads around being able to have.
Right. And it is really strange that it's still as bad as that in Canada, because Canada is like, yeah, you guys are ahead of us in quite a few ways. Scandinavian countries have that very basic fundamental idea. That's one of the ways in which they operate, is like what is a basic standard fundamental needs for somebody to live and to prosper, and then you give them that, and depending on how well they do, they either go up or they go me.
But it gets treated and talked about like it's a fucking handout, and it's like, no, these people didn't ask to be here. They have to be here. So what do we do to allow them to prosper? And when they prosper, we prosper. And it's just, it's bizarre to me.
One of the strangest, like, I don't want to say red pill because that like makes it sound like I was like bought into republicanism, but like an awakening thing that happened to me, an epiphany that happened to me, was the first time I ever had to go on unemployment. I lost my job. I was laid off because of staffing shortages. The company wasn't doing well, and I got laid off. And I was like, "Fuck, what am I gonna do?" Somebody says, "Well, you get on unemployment." And I'm like, I don't feel comfortable getting on unemployment." And they're like, "Well, why? You've been paying taxes the entire fucking time you've been working. Why wouldn't you get on unemployment?
Yeah,
Do you know what
paid
pays
into that, yeah.
Right. And I was like, oh yeah, fuck, that's right.
It's
oh
your
shit.
money.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I got unemployment, and people that I talked to, because I had a very different group of friends at the time, they fucking shamed me because I was taking money away from the government.
Oh
Not
my
the
God.
money.
How dare
Where
they?
did they? The government saved over and over and over, you guys. The government was working its paper route for years just so it can afford. Like, dude, fuck you. That was my money. I fucking paid that money. And we had this idea, this really weird fucking idea. And it's not just America, it's Canada.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of people. It's all the more conservative mindset of like welfare is bad. Even if you spent your whole fucking life paying into this reservoir.
But they're fine with retirement, though. They're fine with retirement funds.
They're totally fine with retirement.
That's the
totally.
same
Well,
thing.
Not all of them, because some of them want to strip that shit too. They're like,
yeah.
"What? You freeloading fucking 85-year-old piece of shit? You lazy motherfucker! Fuck you! Get in that fucking coal mine. Pick me out some fucking gold, you piece of shit! Freeloader."
Imagine retiring in this economy.
Fuck.
Yeah, work until you're dead.
I mean, that's where I'm at. Like, I have no fucking what the fuck. Are you kidding? If I'm lucky, I might be able to get a place to live, maybe, and I should be fucking thankful for it.
Well, so did we ever get the broad argument typed out to you?
Nope, I do not see it.
No.
No.
Oh well. Oh, then fuck them.
On the other hand,
left.
I don't know. I saw him in there a couple of times, but
on
the other, okay, so if you get your fucking retirement, I think that there's like, so we're back to education again, because all these problems seem to all leech off of people being fucking stupid, right? So maybe it would be beneficial, and I think this is in Canada as well, that people actually get a better, more viable, typed up fucking receipt for their taxes. So, and maybe some tax options to say, hey, listen, your taxes can go here or here or here. Which one would you like? And then you can let people tick box where their taxes go into. Or you say, whatever you want box. And so then they just take it and put wherever they want to. And then you get a receipt at the end of the year that says, hey, a percentage of your tax went here. A percentage of your tax went here. So people actually knew what their taxes did. And they weren't like some vague concept of giving the government money.
Wait a minute, you're talking about letting the people know what their money is going to be spent on? That seems like communism to me.
Does it?
No, it fucking does not.
Fascism.
No, 100%. Yeah, 100%. That should 100% be a real fucking thing for sure. Well, I mean, and the thing is too, like in America. Well, I don't know about you. So in Canada, when tax season comes around, what happens?
We get a receipt.
Yeah, you get a receipt.
Yeah.
And then they tell you if you owe or if they owe you, right?
Yeah, they do. Well, okay, listen. The way you really know if you owe money to the Canadian government is they'll tell you.
Sure.
Pretty much.
They'll let you know. So you do your taxes, it goes through, you get your thing back, and you either get a rebate or they say, hey, you owe us blah, 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 and then you pay that over whatever, and you can work with them if you don't have enough, whatever.
You don't have to do taxes options. Like we do.
No, our taxes are not even remotely. There was one time I didn't do my taxes for like 5 to 7 years. I didn't touch my fucking taxes. I didn't do them at all. This is like a while ago. I didn't do them because I was just working away, and it just out of my mind.
If you lived in America, Uncle Sam would be on your ass in a heartbeat.
I didn't owe them any money, so they didn't give a shit.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, no, if you were in America, you'd be pressing fucking license plates for that shit. Like,
oh yeah, no, it's just not the same up here. It's not even remotely close. Like, you still should do like you can still get in trouble if you get like audited and shit. I just didn't get audited.
Down here, we gotta jump through hoops and leaps, and then basically, input numbers and shit, figure out what the fuck we do.
I guarantee you, if I owed them money, they'd have been on my fucking ass. But I didn't owe them any money, so they were like, okay, well, whatever. And then I did them, and they were like, okay, here's your rebate.
Yeah, I wish it was that fucking simple, man. Like,
Canadian taxes are way more simple than American taxes, and it's not that it's necessarily more lenient; it's just way less convoluted.
Well, and that's the thing too, is like maybe our tax code is complicated, but the very basic concept of like our infrastructure on how we build this type of stuff is not that complicated. And you're trying to tell me right now that we have these like super government supercomputers that could like do facial recognition like at any fucking point in time through this, that, and they can't figure out how much money I fucking owe. Like you can't have a database of like which person has a domestic violence charge and is trying to buy a gun.
Yeah.
Like all of these fucking things. And people are like, well, the government's going through a hard time right now. It just can't really do any of this.
Oh, yeah,
and like,
right.
that's stupid. Of course they can fucking do it. They just have to allocate money, funds, and attention to actually do anything.
It's you could even have a corporation that does it for you. Right? So like you could have if you want to make everything this corporate conglomerate, then fine, get a corporation or get a couple of corporations that vie for the government paycheck at the end of the day.
Sure. Somebody asked, what would be a reasonable restriction for what guns you can own between a Derringer and a Hercules gun, the gun that shot a tactical nuke?
Wait, what?
Legalize all of it.
How have I never heard any of that?
I actually almost went and saw an atomic cannon when I was driving across the country. But I mean, like, realistically, like, I don't know, what kind of arbitrary distinction do you want to put on it? You know, right now you have to get super licensed to be able to own like an automatic weapon. If you really want to kill people, having an automatic weapon is not going to make you better at killing people than if you have a semi-automatic. Not really. You know, if you really want to like blow people up, do you really need a cannon, or you just got to make a fucking pipe bomb or some shit? You know, it's just one of those things of like, in what instance do you look at something and you say that that's too much? I'm saying, realistically, if we didn't live in a country where we had more guns than people, then we could find a place, probably before AR-15s, where we're like, that's too far. And we wouldn't let people just buy them if they wanted to. We wouldn't. And I think that would be actually reasonable if we didn't live in the world that we live.
Right.
But we don't live in that. We live in what we live now. So where that line is now, buddy, I don't know. I support open carry of fat boys. Fuck yeah.
Rez says in Australia, working for a company like McDonald's makes taxes super easy because their taxes are filed before they see the money in the bank account for them.
Oh.
Last week, I pressed 4 buttons and I get my money back. Yeah, pretty much. It works that way in Canada too. If you work for a company, it's the company's and HR's job to pull money off of your paycheck that goes into your taxes. So your taxes are paid for and already done for you ahead of time. The reason you do your taxes in Canada personally is so that way you get money back.
Right.
Now, okay. Like, if you're like
or if you're self-employed.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Goodness.
Yeah, it's totally. You guys just are doing ass backwards. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Thank you, TurboTax and H&R Block.
And don't forget, you can do your taxes for free.
That's a whole thing, though.
Good.
The reason why our taxes have not been better is because of lobbying from places like H&R Block and TurboTax. Yeah,
and the NRA.
Dude, recently.
Probably the NRA. Fuck the NRA.
Fuck the NRA. All right, let's get out of here. Egghead, what do you got for us?
Well, I am still making those cringy TikToks, and
Nice.
and still working on YouTube videos. Get the
Nice.
camera more settled on my face. My recently haircut and shaved face, lovely. um, Next month I'll be heading back up to Oklahoma to visit Jeffrey. We'll be making more content together. Maybe response to more people that get under our skins, and more cringy content. Also, to be defending my cringeaweight championship against Jared, or not Jared, Andy Dick.
Oh
Oh
God.
God, you're up against Andy Dick.
Yeah. Yep. And I don't know if you've seen the belt, Jeff.
I have seen the belt. Yeah. Do you have it right next to you?
Yeah. I have it in my
Let's see.
closet. I'm getting it right now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Dave
Yeah,
McGinnis tells me to explain GST. I told him no. It's too much. It's too much for the Americans.
Yes, dude. So fucking sick. Okay, no, I've been thinking about this for a while here, Egg. If you ever need a fucking like a trainer or a manager in a promo, you gotta hit me up, because like I will fucking be your Mick, okay? I'll be like, come on, Rocco, you gotta train harder. You think you're a machine, but you don't even know what it means to be a machine.
I've already got an idea from how I'm gonna do face Andy Dick this month.
Oh.
He's a crazy old bastard. So why not put him up against a character that I created back in 2011, who's ultimately an equally crazy, bitter bastard.
Okay.
And I have.
Don't tell us too much. You have to make
it
razzle dazzle, otherwise it loses its effect.
Oh, I already have like ideas. I'm getting the costume ready and everything.
All right. I'm just saying, if you need a supporting character or something like that, you let me know, man. If I got the time, I'll fucking do it. I'm super into it.
Will you be my Paul Heyman to my Brock Lesnar?
I don't know who that is. But I'll be your Paul. I'll be your Paul bearer to your Undertaker.
There you go. There you go.
That could work.
Yeah.
That could work.
You can find Egghead's links down below in the description. Jeff, what do you got for us?
What do I have for you?
Words of wisdom.
What do you have for us, Jeff?
Yeah, you brought me something, right? There's like a tax.
Yes.
You gotta pay the toll troll.
Yes, totally.
You want to get that voice?
I don't really have a whole lot going on. I'm like left in this quagmire of trying to finish so much content, and also like getting all my shit fixed back up. I had to drop. Fuck me, dude. I had to drop like $600 on a new fucking camera because my camera's shit. It's bad.
He's not even using it right now.
I know, and it's not. And I'm pointing at it right now, like you guys are getting pointed at, but you're right over there because I just had to spend $700 to get this fucking thing running, and then I had to go save my fucking body, my buddy from having to drive across the country with COVID for $300.
Yeah, what the hell?
Swear to fucking God, man, everything is fucking
Somebody
crazy.
owes you a case of beer. That's what that is.
Jeff the hero.
And a million blowjobs.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, in theory, lots and lots of content coming because I'm almost done getting this shit figured out, and that's it. That's
nice. Well, go watch his one about Roe v. Wade abortion stuff, because that was actually really, really good. So go check that one out in the meantime.
It was really super super what's the fucking word? I'm self-conscious about that video. I didn't know if it was going to go over well or not.
Oh yeah, I saw you kind of being like, gonna alienate people, but you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I don't. It's not me. It's not my body that we're talking about and shit. So I was kind of like, I made the video, but I'm like,
I thought it was good. I thought it was great. So I hope more people go watch it.
I've gotten a great response to it, and it's made me feel really good.
Good. I'm glad you got a positive response to it, because with how unsure you were being, I was starting to be like, oh no, is Jeff gonna be in trouble? And then I watched it, and I'm like, this is fucking great.
I mean, if there's one thing I'm good at, it's getting in trouble. So whatever.
Apparently not. If you've never been arrested, what the hell, man?
I've never been caught. I get
How
in trouble all the time.
I don't know how you've managed this.
I am very
You've never
slippery.
been caught, but yet you
He's
had
unfucking
multiple accounts deleted.
Do the Twitter police count?
Oh no, sir. I'm very sneaky.
Very, very sneaky.
It's
All right.
very sneaky.
Thank you guys for coming. I hope people learned something. I noticed there were some things we agreed on, some things we disagreed on. I think for the most part though, everybody's on the same page of like some shit's gone south and maybe it's not what you think it is.
Yeah.
All right. Say goodbye,
You guys are
everybody.
both amazing. Bye.
Bye.
Good night.